Hey everybody, I'm Brian McWhite, CEO and Director of Agent Relationships with JP Willman Realty in the Twin Cities, and I'm here with one of our agents, Andy Peterson, today. Thanks for making the time, Andy.
Absolutely, Brian.
I really appreciate it, man. Just wanted to talk a little bit about your experience in real estate and your experience with JP Willman.
Sounds good.
Maybe we could start with what you were doing before you came to JP Willman.
Before I came to JP Willman, I actually have a biochemistry degree from the University of Minnesota Duluth.
It's a perfect skill set transfer for real estate.
Yeah, exactly. Seamless. So right out of college, I worked in the lab for a couple positions. I worked at 3M, transferred to a pharmaceutical company in New Hope called Perigo, worked in the lab again there. Kind of got sick of working in the lab, so I got out of the lab, worked in QA. After that, moved into project management and did that for a number of years. Wasn't really passionate about the job anymore. Kind of burnt out. Had always thought about real estate, or had been thinking about getting my license for a couple of years at that point, and finally just decided to jump in, and so here I am.
You'd been thinking about real estate for a couple of years. What was attractive to you about real estate?
Yeah, that's a great question. Wanted to be in control of my own earning potential, my own boss, own my own company. Mm-hmm. So I thought, let's give this a shot.
Yeah. And how did you find JP Willman, and what made JP Willman attractive to you?
That's a great question as well. So an agent at the office I knew from high school. He works here. That was Blake.
Oh, Blake. Yeah, of course.
So we went to high school together.
Yeah.
Interviewed here, and maybe not interviewed, but came in here, chatted with you, and
conversation.
Went into a couple other places and just liked the vibe.
What have you found here? What's been helpful? What's kept you here?
I think just Josh's, the mentorship program initially starting out was very enticing, just kind of getting into the industry and knowing that I'll have, those one-on-ones for 12 weeks or whatever they were, and just knowing that he's been available after that. I still reach out to him to this day. He answers, gets back to me, helps me out. Same with Ben Troxel.
Yeah.
He's very responsive as well. So just seemed to click with the guys here. They seem to be maybe a little bit more style, my age, just had a connection with some of them.
Makes sense. You mentioned the Engage program, the mentoring program that you did with Josh Champ. What were some of the things that you found helpful about that, or things that helped launch you into your career? Yeah,
I think just really laying the foundation, just getting into the industry, didn't maybe know where to start exactly, so really the database was very helpful to kind of how to put that together, the touch program. Those were kind of the main things that I thought were very helpful and really laid the foundation to kind of start a career in real estate.
Yeah. Are you a guy that's pretty self-motivated, or did you kind of need some motivation from your mentor as well?
Yeah, I'd say I'm self-motivated. Just kind of, jumping into this takes a little motivation, but
sure does.
If you ever had questions or didn't know where to go next or what to do or really anything, they've been there to kind of help guide you and give you ideas on anything that you really need help with.
Yeah. And you got off to a strong start. Like, what do you attribute that to? What worked for you?
I don't know if there's any rhyme or reason to any of that, but just kind of putting yourself out there, right? And just letting everyone know that this is the industry you're in now, and there's no secret agents, so you gotta kind of
right.
put it out there, let people know what you're doing. And I think some of that, just growing up in Maple Grove and having friends and family in the area has really helped.
I think it's one of the hardest things for newer agents to do, is just to get themselves out there and introduce themselves to people and talk about what they're doing and be excited about it. I mean, passion's contagious, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
exactly.
What do you enjoy about real estate now that you've done it some?
Like I said, I do like being my own boss, having my own business. That part's great. And I think if buyers and sellers have a true need or want to buy or sell, then really helping them through that transition is really rewarding. So I really do enjoy enjoy that part about the business.
What's been a highlight of your career so far, or a client you got a lot of enjoyment out of serving?
So recently my neighbor reached out to me, and her father had passed away and she needed to sell the house. So that was really rewarding because I was able to help her along the way a number of times. They weren't living there. There was no one taking care of the lawn, so I was able to get a lawn service up there.
I was going to say, you didn't bring your lawnmower over.
No, it was actually... It was actually a couple acre property, so it wouldn't have been a good one to
push mow that puppy
to do myself. But no, I have a buddy that owns a lawn service. I reached out to him. He was able to coordinate that a couple of times throughout the listing process. Hired some cleaners to go up there. The sellers weren't living there. They lived, probably 45 minutes from the house. So that was very helpful to them, and I, chipped in as much as I could to clean and get the house ready for photos. And
you said you were moving boxes and
cleaning,
like
dusting, sweeping the basement and stuff like that. So you do what you got to do to get it ready.
I was going to say, all in a day's work for a realtor sometimes. I mean, I've had those situations too, where it reminded me of one in particular where I had a client who just despite how much we'd communicated, it did not comprehend that they needed to be out of the house before closing. They couldn't just kind of take their time after closing and finish moving out.
You don't own it anymore.
And so, and so myself and another agent on my team were over there, literally moving boxes, just trying to get stuff into the garage so the new homeowners could move in. It's this isn't what we're getting paid to do, but it's kind of what we're getting paid to do.
Yep. Exactly.
I'm sure that client felt really well served.
Yeah, she did.
What have been some of the biggest challenges for you in real estate so far?
I think that initial, like we talked about, putting yourself out there, maybe getting people to think of you as a realtor now instead of, a scientist, chemist, project manager, whatever your previous role was. And just some of the marketing. I don't love being the center of attention and having the spotlight on you, but you do gotta kind of use your social media and really be posting.
What are some of the ways that you network and stay connected with your sphere?
So I play in a golf league on Tuesdays with a few buddies every week up at Victory Links. Yep. And then my wife and I play co-ed volleyball at the Lookout on Thursdays. So we try to get out and see friends as much as possible. Obviously, golfing on weekends too in the summer. Just anything I can do to get together with buddies or friends is what I try to do.
You got to make work fun.
Yeah, exactly.
I like to talk to agents a lot about their mindset. I think that so much business and relationships and fitness and so much about our lives, so much of the aspirations we have start with your mindset. Curious, are there things that you do to hone your mindset, to focus yourself, or things that get you through the times in real estate that are slow and create anxiety and stuff like that?
For the most part, I try to kind of keep it simple, be positive, just keep moving forward. Yeah. You never know where your next deal is going to come from, so just keep plugging away and good things will happen, as far as, getting in a good mindset, working out or going to the gym definitely helps, getting a sweat on.
Looking forward now, what are the next big milestones for you in your career? What are you hoping to do next in real estate?
Well,
more sales.
Help more people buy and sell. That would be step one. Another thing that drew me to real estate was maybe some of the investment stuff. So maybe down the road, try to have some investment properties of my own. If you get busy enough, maybe try to build a little team. Those would kind of be some future goals of mine.
Absolutely. Yeah, the investment property, it's all about the first one,
Yep.
You get that first one right and it bankrolls the rest of them.
Yep.
It's such a good idea.
Exactly.
Yeah. Good. Andy, thanks again, man. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. It's just good to hear, kind of how your career's progressed so far and the wins that you've had and the struggles that come along with being a new agent too. Really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks, Brian.
Well, once again, I'm Brian McWhite with JP Willman Realty Twin Cities. If you're interested in having a conversation about Engage, the mentorship program that Andy went through here, some of our technology offerings, what we do to help agents market well, I'm always interested in a conversation. Coffee, lunch, happy hour, it's always on me. Love to talk to you. Go through. Let me start that again. Conversation about a bro. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to get the giggles. Packages, the way that... No, not technology packages. Coffee or lunch or a happy hour. I was almost there.